I was driving and I came across this B100. So I'm gonna see if the owner's home. Hey, you want to sell that Bullnose?
Of course it's you.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of Ford Era. So this morning we are in Huntington Beach, California, and we are at what they call Qruising PCH, or the quarantine cruise. I haven't been here in years, so figured I'd bring you guys along. We got Jeff here. We were cruising, so people are still rolling in. It's about 6:30 in the morning, and we're gonna get to walking around. I'm gonna show you guys what's all open.
History. This was being built in 1930. They said before Dragon.
Mustangs represent good right now.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's like seeing the Tri Lives coming in.
It's crazy to see all these cars. This one should look like.
And all contact template on fingers. They're all two-tone pastels. Oh shit, look, they're all right there. Here's an orange dragon. A little bit. That is beautiful. I love it. 57? Gosh. Couple of Fords. This, I believe, is the Duomo, built by Fat Fender. Good morning. This thing is super cool. Gosh, isn't that color great?
It's an awesome truck.
This thing is so cool. You know how many rascals we could fit in the back of this thing? How many do you think we could fit in there?
All of them.
All of them.
All of the rascals. This could be your SEMA rascal trip.
This is so cool. Alright guys, so I ended up not really making a good video on when we went to Quarantine Cruise. I mean, I feel like it was fun, but I didn't talk much. Now we're here at Pomona Swap Meet. I'm going to stop talking. I want to show you guys what's here.
Hours later.
I was driving and I came across this B100, so I'm gonna see if the owner's home. Hey, you want to sell that Bullnose?
Of course it's you. Let me guess, you were just driving by.
I was just driving by. How did you know?
In the streets of Long Beach.
Yeah, I was like, let me just drive by all the alleyways and see if I might find something cool.
I mean, it's been what, 7 months since I saw you at SEMA?
Yeah.
We're gonna come see it, but
I'm actually here.
it doesn't look. When you bring this and park this next to it, it makes it seem a lot less cool. But this is pretty cool, and this is
A month ago, this looked very similar to this.
well. This could use that treatment.
It needs it.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, the paint's pretty good. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, it's dirty.
Yeah,
It's
no.
dirty.
Oh, that's
We
perfect.
live near an airport, so
It actually looks like it might be the same color brown, honestly.
it looks really close.
That
This
really-
is a much better paint job, but it looks really close.
The Mexican version?
This car was definitely repainted in Mexico at some point. So,
For people that might not remember,
what's
what
the
is
backstory?
this? Yeah.
So this is known as a B150 Ford Travelall Carryall, and they started making these. Probably originally was the bump side was the first one they did.
Yep.
The dent side was pretty popular. I think people saw a lot of those, and then they made the Bullnose version. And I actually spotted this while I was in Mexico City. I didn't spot this exact one. I spotted another one, and I didn't know they made Bullnoses. I had been looking for a dent side, and I saw this, and I saw one parked on the side of the road. I was in Mexico City filming Electricana 2 with Ken Block, and that was it. I was like, all right, I got to go to Marketplace, see if I can find one. Found one that was like an hour and a half outside of Mexico City. Went, picked it up, and then yeah, that was pretty much.
I dig it.
Pretty much my story with it, but the backstory on this particular one, which was the ones built by Reverter, was basically they started in Detroit as a single cab, short wheelbase, short bed that got sent to Mexico, and then in Mexico they basically took off the rear bed and rebuilt this whole rear. So a lot of the parts on this are, from my understanding, are basically parts off the Econolines. So like the earlier Econolines, so the rear doors, the windows are Econolines, which like works really well on this side, but on the other side, on the
it's a little quirky.
It's a little weird. But these things basically left the factory as just single cab short beds. We're shipped down there. Like this is a nice photo right there.
Oh, yeah.
But then you get some of these kind of weird door lines, but this whole door on this particular model was a custom built door.
It's crazy that it's metal, because all the dent sides that I've had, this door is always fiberglass.
I guess that makes sense, because that's clearly the door they had to construct.
Yeah, but I guess by this they already started. They had crew cabs, so they probably took crew cab doors and cut them.
Crew cab door and then just changed the bottom.
Yeah, reskinned it or something.
Line of it, yeah. So, and then like you can kind of look at it and you can see that like the lower half was probably taken off of the actual bed.
Yeah.
But these, even though they were sold down there as 83s, what's interesting is it seems like Ford, knowing that they were selling these out of country to get built for something else, kind of made a hodgepodge of parts. So the rear axle in this is like what you find in the late 70s dent side.
Huh.
So it's a Dana 44.
Really?
Yeah,
Not a 9-inch.
It's not a 9-inch. So it's a Dana 44 in the rear on this, which is a little different. It did have a V8 classic, just 302.
This one's auto or stick?
But these were still sold. This is stick.
Okay.
And these were still sold as
all the space.
Carbs, where I think by this point in the U.S.,
it would have been fuel injected.
For
sure. Oh man, there's so much space. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's funny how small a 302 is compared to like even the 351 I have in that thing.
So I had some friends ship it up to Tijuana, and then I went down to Tijuana, got some tacos, and drove it up. And I'll be honest, I had like big plans for it initially, but then I bought an F600 and I don't know, like 15 other cars. And this thing's been kind of like, it gets a little bit of duty around the neighborhood, go to the store with it, stuff like that. But I don't know. You probably will give it a better life than I will. I'm trying to reduce.
I haven't opened the inside yet. To me,
so.
This is like perfect for my wife.
The interior is actually quite nice. So it's like a...
Oh yeah.
It's like a nice...
Like crushed velvet.
Yeah, a little crushed velvet.
Yes, guys, it smells exactly like what you think it smells
exactly like it, yeah.
Yeah, this is really...
Obviously needs a new dash cap, things like
Yeah,
that.
I mean, all the stuff that the sun kills, but it's not like it's really not so bad.
It's
like,
a dry car.
Yeah, I was saying, like, up here is what I would be more worried about rust,
here.
and
It's
there's none.
It's just surface rust from the paint.
Yeah.
So there was a roof rack on it at some point.
Okay.
And I actually removed it because it was just like a really cheap aftermarket roof rack.
Got it.
So I pulled it off, and until the plan was to obviously close the holes up. What I was thinking about doing, just to keep the original paint and not do too much on the car,
Yep.
was I was just gonna do like an ivory white top.
Okay.
Right, and then do ivory along the bottom, so that
you could fix both.
Fix all of the body work that's needed here and here, and then just do ivory below the trim line, and then do ivory on the roof, and then just keep the rest of the paint.
That actually would look good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe respray the hood just because the hood's anything that was directly down from the sun got the worst hit of it all. So
Get a fresh bumper on that thing
A
from
weird
Auto Metal
thing-
Direct. They probably.
weird thing that I figured out while trying to cross the border in this thing is in Mexico, when they put the new VIN numbers on, they're on the passenger side.
Huh.
Yeah, when I got to the border and I couldn't provide a VIN number for the car,
They
it was
were not
kind of
having
an
it.
interesting conversation. Ended up finding that's where it is here. So
That's funny.
I was like, hey, this thing got signed off like at the Mexican DMV when I got all my paperwork because there was no VIN
Anywhere.
But,
Yeah.
So it's because when they came down, they gave them a new VIN for the reverter. Like I guess down in Mexico they're treated like a kit car almost.
Yeah.
So or a small manufacturer. I mean, the side pipes is probably the coolest feature.
I couldn't agree more. I love the
They
like
sound awesome.
weird little like shamrock or
Yeah.
whatever.
Like mini crosses.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
No, this thing is really cool. Like I feel like it's exactly how you described it.
Still has the
Oh, that-
Hidalgo license plate.
That's so good.
There.
Oh, that's so good. But yeah, I really like it. I mean, my problem now is I would buy it and drive it back to Florida, but I have that. Unless you want to do some sort of trade.
Don't let my kid hear that because my kid loves that truck.
Well, we're gonna put this down. I'll pick you guys back up soon.
A few moments later.
Well, camera didn't start up fast, but this thing actually cranks up first crank, so. Obviously it's on the high rev. She sounds healthy, even on the high rev, you know?
It's on high rev still.
Yeah.
Give it a kick down.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
That's smooth.
Yeah.
Dude,
She's been nothing but a good runner.
I like it.
I mean, the last long drive I took for it was like, I went to go buy a quad for my son and drove it for like 2 hours to go get it and then sat in bumper to bumper traffic going home. No overheating, no nothing. So it was winter time, but you know, winter in California. So
Yeah. It was 65.
It was still 65 out.
Yeah.
But and even the time we went to go get it in Mexico, it's like we sat in horrible traffic coming home. The biggest issue when I got it was the steering box was a nightmare. Like it was one of the scariest things I've ever driven. Just trying to keep it in a straight line
Really?
at like 60, 70 miles an hour. So we redid the box.
Okay.
And now it's got a brand new box in it, which is great. Like I said, really the only thing you got to figure out, I mean, other than aesthetic stuff, is put a rear diff in it. And she's good because I was an idiot, tried to do burnouts.
Oh.
That's the intermittent coil pack issue.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're right. It does have fuel.
It has fuel.
Yeah. So it's definitely
Or not coil pack,
cap
just
or
coil.
Yeah. I've been
Did the
dealing with
exact same thing last time.
I've been dealing with this for the last 2 weeks crossing the country.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to fun. This one, I don't know what the plan's going to be with it, but off camera, I already shook Brian's hand and I said I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to buy it
Here's the
on camera. There you go. On camera.
And I'm going to take that money and I'm going to put it into actually getting my F600 started again because that thing's been sitting for
So this is
2
directly
years.
F600
This is
fund.
F600 funds.
Okay.
Directly into it because that thing's been sitting in storage for 2 years now, which is kind of a bummer. So
It is a
insert
bummer.
photo of the F600.
I actually went back there once. Where was it? Wheel Pros? When you had it?
it was probably
by
at
Wheel
the
Pros.
Hoonigans. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
So-
the last time you saw it.
I mean, that thing
It
is
hasn't
really
changed
cool.
much since then. So.
24's crew cab F600 or F700?
F600.
F6.
F600, crew cab, previous owner up in Alberta, Canada, Z'd out the frame, slammed it, put it on air, and put a Duramax in it.
Oh, nice.
So now I'm just trying to decide what to do. So I have that Duramax that's in it. I have another Duramax that came out of a vehicle we built at Hoonigan called the Colmaro that I have. But then I don't know, another part of me just wants to put like just like the 7.3 Godzilla in it.
They are simple.
Especially now that diesel's like $8 a gallon here.
Yeah. Have you seen the guys that jacked up trucks? You ever heard of them?
No.
I'll show you their stuff. They build a lot of F600s, like the
Oh,
coolest
really?
ones.
Yeah.
So you'll get some cool inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I'm gonna probably hit the road and start logging some miles towards Florida. So
Congratulations.
when I sell this
I
thing,
can't believe you drove this thing all the way from Miami here and now you're driving it back.
I wish somebody would buy it so I don't
You
have
need
to.
sell it here.
You want
I'll
it?
take a photo of it. I'll take a photo of it and post it and say for sale. See if I can get some California people.
That would be awesome. Scotto ended up making a deal, and we're gonna come back to that some other time. Switched up my stuff, got into my road trip attire. Right now we've got about 425 miles until Apache Junction, and we're gonna be heading back to Miami, Florida. It's 2,738 miles from where I am right now until my house, and we're officially gonna start. So here we go. We've got 69,052 miles, and I'm excited.